Hey yo, this is Dash. Okay, so I'm still rather new at mitering corners, especially in metal. So what I've done is, and I've taken cues from a guy I've seen make lots and lots of things. His name is Alan. He has a welding channel. It's called Alan's Welding and Woodwork, I believe. But he does something like this, where he takes his measurement, where he's going to miter the corner. He just simply cuts the metal out. So I'm going to try that. I figure, what the hey, this will end up being half of the rack, half of the shelf. And actually, crap, now that I think about it, I think I might just do, because this will be the short side, the long side, and then I think I'm gonna measure in another short side, and then I'll have two straights coming off of this end and this end that I'll just use straight pieces to connect to, so I won't be mitering everything, and that'll give me at least it'll make it easy for me. So let's see if I can get this done. All right, so before I get started and actually get my miters cut out, I wanted to take a moment and show you guys something for your own safety. If you're using the cutoff wheel, it's already dangerous enough as is. And you see that nick right here? If I would have taken this and put it to here, this disc would have probably exploded on me. Yeah, just chuck it. No sense in losing an eye, a finger, or anything because that disc explodes. Ask me how I know. All right, let me get back at it and I'll see y'all in a bit. All right, well, I bent the 90 in here. Too bad there's like a 1/4 of an inch gap in between, but you know what? The grate that'll go on top will cover that up. Again, I'll have to figure out how to get better at doing that, but what it is, I'm gonna call that a win. Considering, especially for what it is, I'm gonna call that a win, especially seeing as how I've never done it before. And I made it, I figured it out. You know when the perfect time to find out that you're out of shielding gas? At midnight on a Wednesday, well, Thursday at and you still got stuff to accomplish. So I'm gonna get this to the point where I can use it, and then I'll end up probably doing it again. Because these welds are horrible. All right, so you remember when I was telling you guys that that corner had a gap in it? Well, that gap actually created an issue where this is 51 inches and this is like 51 1/4. So I ended up having to cut the gap out. And in, you know, being honest with you guys, I make mistakes. Being transparent, I am going to grab this up together and weld it, and I'm hoping that that'll pull it in. And I have such a tight tolerance in the smoker that I had that 1/4 of an inch. You can see kind of some of the marks on the side. It bound up and wouldn't go all the way in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it fixed, get it resolved. Like I said, I cut a little piece on the left side and I cut a little piece on the right side in order to get or have the ability to take the errant metal out or the extra metal out, and I'm hoping I'll weld it up. Actually, I think I'm just gonna tack it and then see if it slides into the smoker. If it is, I'm calling it done. Next thing I gotta do is pull out some expanded and try to cover it up. Mind you, it's going on 1 o'clock in the morning. I gotta hurry up and get this done. Okay, so here is the newly fabricated shelf. Once I welded this corner up, it sucked everything in, and I got my 1/4 inch back. Slides in and out with no problem. It will be able to support whatever weight is on there. Now, a couple lessons learned. The bar that's in here already is I think it's 3/4 inch. If it's not 3/4 inch, it's 1/2 inch. And this is 1 inch. So when I measured and I wanted to try and have 4.5 inches from here to here, I should have dropped this down another inch or 1/2 inch, because I kind of forgot that the top of this shelf is going to be on top of where the frame is laid out. So I will eventually be making this over again. I seriously doubt I'll cut these out. You know, for what I need it for in the immediate future, this should hopefully get the job done. I have some smaller briskets that I think I'll be able to fit on this shelf. And I got out a piece of expanded. I'm getting ready to just be lazy as the day is long. Take this, lay it on top of the table, draw a line, cut it out, tack it on in a couple places, call it a day, and get back out here tomorrow morning and start cooking. All right, so I have my piece of expanded laid out. Something else to think about when you are working with expanded, you have to remember that the sheets come in 4 feet by 8 foot sections. All right, so anyway, had I thought about it, I would have tried to make, well, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck to the dimensions that are there, but if I could have gotten away with it, if you can make your shelves 48 inches wide or long actually, and whatever the depth you will be able to get the most out of your piece of expanded. So I'm gonna end up having to cut it out of the piece of expanded the long way, and you know, it is what it is. I can't. I'm trying to see where the best, place to make this cut is actually. Actually, oh shoot, you know what? This isn't a full sheet of expanded. But it would be, if it were a full sheet, it would be 8 feet long. And it is definitely 4 foot wide, 48 inches. So I'm gonna lay this out, lay my shelf out on top of the expanded, and make my cuts accordingly. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut exactly to the edge or slightly move it in. I'll hit the, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move it in slightly so I can have some overlap on the actual, on the tops of the grates here. So I'm hoping it'll work out.